Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I tried to film this drive with me this morning and I had no battery in the camera, which was just, honestly, it makes sense. I mean, I don't have to go anywhere right now. I'm just driving around on my lunch break because this is the only bit of daylight I've got too. Anyway, welcome to day 2 of Drivemas. Hope you guys are good. It's actually not very cold today. It's like warm. It's 15 degrees. Anyway, like I said, we're going to talk about different topics per day. And a lot of you, understandably, asked for my tips for driving, mainly like driving and anxiety. I know a lot of you probably watched the channel from when I was learning to drive. And obviously now on my job, kind of a low-key expert. So when it comes to driving and anxiety, first of all, that is so normal. And I know you might not feel like it is, but it is. For me, I associated driving with very stressful experiences when I was learning. I'm still like quite a nervous driver, especially when I'm going to new places. Like on my way to work, I know the way, so it's completely fine. I find that when I come to driving to new places, it's definitely not as bad as it used to be, but I definitely do feel it. So yeah, whether you've just passed, whether you're still learning, one massive tip for that is deep breathing. And I feel like that applies to pretty much everything in life. Deep breathing has got me through some pretty intense times, I'm not gonna lie, especially when it came to driving and on my test. The test that I passed on, the 6th one, I started doing deep breathing whilst on the test, and that's the one I passed on, and I don't think that's a coincidence. First of all, it kind of takes your attention away from the stressful situation, whatever it is. And second of all, obviously it brings your body back down to like a normal tempo, makes your mind a bit more at peace, and especially when it does come to driving, that's really going to help you have more control of the car, because obviously you're using not just your mind, but you're using your body, your hands, your legs. So deep breathing is going to stop you from getting physical symptoms of nerves like shaking and stuff. So yeah, deep breathing, definitely number 1. Number 2, in terms of working on your skills, say you've just passed your test and you don't like driving alone, I would start off on more local roads that you know a bit more, just because obviously there's a bit less thought that has to go into like, where am I? And you can kind of focus a bit more on getting used to driving alone. I don't actually know where I'm going. So you kind of take out the element of unfamiliarity, and then you can focus on getting used to the feeling of actually driving the car, being in control. Because I know when I was learning, I never thought I'd be just whipping about in my little Fiesta without a care in the world. I mean, I do care, it's not without a care in the world, but kind of like so naturally. So also know that if you are nervous when you're driving, it's definitely not going to be like that forever, because the more you do it, the more used to it you get. Again, if driving alone is one of your worries, start off with driving with someone, so like your mom, your dad, a friend, just so you have someone there. Because I think when you stop your lessons or when you pass your test, you're so used to having someone there, whether it's the instructor or the examiner, and then to go from that to have no one there, it is kind of an adjustment that you have to make. The main thing, guys, with driving is once you get comfortable, or once you've kind of mastered the thing that you're trying to get better at, move forward and challenge yourself more, because otherwise you're not gonna progress. Obviously that's the same with anything in life. Oh my god, it's turned into another TED talk. But yeah, definitely make sure you keep pushing yourself. So if you were scared of driving alone and you've kind of mastered the local areas, try a trip that you're not familiar with, because 9 times out of 10 it's going to go fine, never going to go as badly as you thought, and then by the end of it you're going to be like, wow, I'm capable of that, and then you're going to be on to the next bigger and better things. So yeah, I've definitely found that that worked for me, and now, even though I avoid it, for things like work, I have driven all over the country this year, which has meant going on motorways, driving alone, driving in different conditions. Doing that has definitely challenged me and has 100% made me a better driver. I can't even explain to you guys. I'm in kind of a unique position where I work with a lot of driving instructors, so it's kind of ingrained in me to drive properly now. But yeah, I think that's definitely helped my driving skills in general. And also getting to know instructors who obviously I've seen on social media and hearing about what they've struggled with when they learned to drive, that's definitely made me feel better about not being the best at driving at the start, and just feel a bit more normal, because I think people can make nerves and driving seem really abnormal when most people experience it. I don't want to whack out a stat, but I was even shocked to know that literally over 50% of people don't pass first time. If I'd have known that on my first driving test, I don't think I would have felt as shit when I failed. But yeah, I feel like people can definitely stigmatise the whole struggling with driving. But honestly, if that's you and you find that you're feeling that way, also remember it's a whole life skill. Like, it is a whole life skill that once you've learnt it, and also you're going to always learn with driving, you're not going to be a master of it by a week after your exam. Like, I'm still learning daily about things with driving and how to do it better. But yeah, the fact that it is such a huge life skill, and once you pass your test, you will be able to drive for the rest of your life. That's gonna warrant it taking a while to pick up. And if people make you feel shit for that, send them my way. Yeah, anything else with driving and nerves? I think my main goal, just in general, obviously with the job I have, and just since I started sharing my journey with driving, is 100% just to normalise the feeling of nerves. And also people failing their tests, I feel like when it's a bit more normalised, it becomes less of a big deal and people put less pressure on it. And then more people will probably pass because they've put less pressure on themselves. Honestly guys, the test that I passed on, I didn't even care about the result. Honestly, he told me I passed and I was like, sick. I feel like that might have been because I did 6 of them and I was literally emotionally drained. But the less pressure you put on anything, the less attached you become to the outcome, the better it normally goes. I'm not gonna lie to you. Anyways guys, like I said, I'm actually on my lunch break, so I'm gonna actually eat. So yeah, if you ever feel alone with the whole nerves thing, or just driving in general, or you're struggling to pass, honestly just look at my life. Literally just look at my life. I failed my driving test 5 times and here I am. I'm fine, mostly. Hope you enjoy. If you want any of the tips, let me know in the comments or just DM me on Instagram, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.